everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another stitch tutorial, and it is on the puff stitch. So we have already done the cluster stitch, the bobble stitch, and the popcorn. So I thought that it would be good to add the puff stitch into this little segment as well, because they're kind of similar. They're cluster stitches, and I thought it would be, a good idea to go ahead and add it to it. I wasn't intending to in my first thought of this little series, but now I think I'll go ahead and add it into it. So I just have a length of chain here, and I've already done my first 3 double crochets just to get me to the stitch that I want to do my puff stitch in. And this is very similar in the same way that we did the bobble and the popcorn. You're going to be working your puff stitch into one single stitch, and then you'll have double crochets in between, or whatever stitches you're using. We'll be working into the next stitch to make our puff stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go in through that stitch, pull up a loop, and we're going to leave those loops on the hook. So we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and we have a total of 5 loops on our hook now. We need 7, so we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and that is our 7. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 loops on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all of 7 of those loops, and then we're going to chain 1. So that is what a puff stitch looks like. I'm going to do 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches, or I'm going to make, over the next 3 stitches, I'm going to put 1 double crochet in each, and that's just to get me to where I want the next puff stitch at. Okay, in the next stitch we're going to yarn over, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, and that's 5 loops on our hook now. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, and chain 1. So it's not a whole lot of texture, but it is a little bit of texture. Oops. So I'm just going to place my double crochets in the next 3 stitches just to get me to the next spot. So we're going to yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, and I don't think I mentioned this, but you do want to make sure that your loops are kind of loose. You're pulling them up to where they're even with the top of your work. Yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, that's 5, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, and that should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to yarn over, pull through all 7, and chain 1. And that finishes out my double crochets right there. So the next stitch we're going to do another puff stitch, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You'll know you've done enough when you have 7 loops on your hook. yarn over, pull through all 7 loops, and chain 1. And I'll just finish out my last double crochets here, and then we'll take a look. Oops. I'm not very coordinated this morning. Okay. So this is what our puff stitch looks like. Not as visible as the others, but they are there. They just add a little bit of texture when you don't want a whole lot, but you want something. Puff stitches are really great for that. So we have our cluster stitch here, our puff stitch, the bobble, and the popcorn. I think that rounds them out, or this little series out really well. It basically shows all the stitches, the basic stitches that look similar to each other. So once again, this was the cluster stitch, the puff stitch, the bobble, and the popcorn. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this little series, and I will see you next time. Bye!